Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, not here with Geeky Sparkle. She's sitting the next couple of videos out. She will be back later, I promise. She's just busy today. So we're going to talk about Space Daddy Elon Musk getting in trouble again. Mean old Space Daddy publicly mocked a Twitter worker with a disability because this worker was apparently unsure whether or not he's been laid off. A lot of people at Twitter don't know if they've been laid off. It just kind of happens, or they figure it out when they can't get into their email or whatever the deal is. We're going to talk about this Twitter exchange. I saw it the other day and I was like, wow, that's kind of not a good look to drag this out in public. But the flip side is this worker called Elon Musk out in public and basically asked, hey, boss, do I have a job or not? And then after the exchange went down, it was like, oh, by the way, I'm disabled, so neener, so I don't know if it was a very good faith discussion. Man, they're desperate to get you to sign up for their email here over on CNN. I don't know if it was a very good faith discussion to begin with, and it probably was staged to make Elon Musk look bad, but he didn't have to react the way he reacted either. I think these are discussions that probably should be held privately. What the hell? It's social media, right? And it's Twitter engagement and it's views, and he's got to make money off of this thing. So we're going to talk about this. Before you do any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 297, almost 300,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Speaking of Twitter, I'm actually going to lay off of Twitter. I think I made the announcement the other day. I mean, not that it's an announcement to make. I just don't think Twitter has changed all that much under Elon Musk. In fact, I think it's gotten crazier. My personal opinion, I think that because Elon Musk owns Twitter, that the crazies who were going to go to Mastodon or whatever, and they realized that that was not going to work, they're going to park it on Twitter and make it as miserable for everybody else as possible. But beyond that, I haven't seen any major change in Twitter. And that kind of brings us to, what's going on with employees. You can fire half or 3/4 of Twitter and there is no difference in how the app actually performs. None whatsoever. I wouldn't be able to tell if I left Twitter for a year and I came back and, it was Elon Musk and his skeleton crew running it. I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same as it was, except Donald Trump is back. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. A lot of features they've been talking about haven't really been rolled out yet, except the ones that are paid, of course, like Twitter Blue. And, we don't know what's going on with video. They were going to monetize video. I don't think it's a good platform for video, personally. I don't think people go to Twitter for video, at least not yet. So personally, I'm just going to go back to blogging, I think, and I'll just put a link up on Twitter when I make a blog post on clownfishtv.com. That's clownfishtv.com. But, I don't think it's really where it's at. But anyway, it is amusing. It is amusing to follow the Twitter outrage and the kerfuffles, because 95% of the time, if there are headlines to be made over a social media dust-up, it's on Twitter. So this is coming from CNN. And again, I didn't think it was that big of a deal at the time. But, of course, CNN's going to pick it up. Elon Musk publicly mocks Twitter worker with disability who is unsure whether he's been laid off. Elon Musk has apologized. Okay, so he's apologized after publicly scoffing at a Twitter employee's uncertainty about whether he had been laid off in a recent round of cuts and speaking dismissively of the employee's disability in a series of tweets Monday night. So we're going to go out and see this thread first. The thing is he tagged Elon Musk in on it publicly. This is Holly. I am Haroldar. I don't know. 9 days ago, the access to my work computer was cut with about 200 other Twitter employees. However, your head of HR is not able to confirm if I'm an employee or not. You've not answered my emails. Maybe if enough people retweet, you'll answer me here. Elon Musk, what work have you been doing? Hallie, I would need to break confidentiality to answer this question here. If you have your lawyer share in writing that I can do that, then I'd be happy to discuss that openly. Elon Musk, it's approved. You go ahead. Among others, led the effort to save about $500K on one SaaS contract, that's software as a service. Supported closing down many others. Led prioritization of design projects across the company to make sure we were able to deliver with a small team. Led design crits to help level up design across the company. Was hiring manager for all design roles. Worked on efforts to steer the company away from focusing on power users and onto younger users because our user base is aging. Yeah, I can't imagine why young people aren't picking up Twitter. Elon Musk said, level up from what design to what? Pixar, it didn't happen. Ooh, we haven't hired design roles in 4 months. What changes did you make to help with the Utes? And then he posts Office Space, the Bobs. What would you say that you do here? Would you say that you're a people person? Yeah. That did not go well. It really didn't go well. And then it turned out that the guy was disabled, right? The reality is this guy who is independently wealthy. That's interesting. The reality is this guy who was independently wealthy did no actual work, claimed as his excuse that he had a disability that prevented him from typing, yet was simultaneously tweeting up a storm. Can't say I have a lot of respect for that. That is his opinion. This guy says, as someone who has worked directly with I Am Haroldar during a turnaround, this is super disappointing to see. Not only is his work ethic next level, his talent and humility are world class. Exactly the kind of person you want on your team. Elon says, based on your comment, I just did a video call with Holly to figure out what's real versus what I was told. It's a long story. Better to talk to people than communicate via a tweet. You don't say. Yeah, that is, I mean, if that is true for Elon Musk, who owns the company, it is true for everybody on Twitter, which is part of the reason I think I'm going to walk away from Twitter or use it very, very sparingly, because it really doesn't bring a lot of value. It just brings a lot of conflict. And in fact, Twitter's designed to bring conflict. We did a video on it that is literally designed to throw you in front of an oncoming bus to get the most engagement, even if it's negative engagement. Now he says, I would like to apologize to Hallie for my misunderstanding of his situation. It was based on things I was told that were untrue, or in some cases true but not meaningful. He is considering remaining at Twitter. So that's interesting. Like, look, if you actually talk to people in real life instead of through Twitter, you know, the situation might be different than what you thought it was. Haroldur Thorleifsson, Iceland, but yeah, I can't imagine that. Iceland-based Twitter senior director tweeted at Musk that access to his computer had been cut off 9 days earlier. Twitter laid off some 200 employees. Thorleifsson said in his tweet, your head of HR is not able to confirm it. This is what Musk said. He clarified in a tweet, the guy who got laid off, clarified in a tweet that he has muscular dystrophy, a degenerative disease that he says put him in a wheelchair more than 20 years ago. That sucks. He founded a digital branding company acquired by Twitter in 2021. So he was acquired. He didn't go to work for Twitter. He's been recognized by the UN and the president of Iceland for spearheading a charitable effort to build 1,000 wheelchair ramps around Reykjavik to increase the city's accessibility so people can get away from Ezra Miller faster. That's why they did it. No, I'm not able to do manual work, which in this case means typing or using a mouse for extended periods of time without my hands starting to cramp. I can, however, write for an hour or two at a time. This wasn't a problem in Twitter 1.0. Since I was a senior director, my job was mostly to help teams move forward, give them strategic and tactical advice. I have been there, not muscular dystrophy. And I'm going to be honest. I've actually got pretty close to being permanently disabled. I had a back injury several years ago. In fact, one of my legs I could not feel. I was dragging it, and things have gotten better. You know, but I actually did have problems. I had problems holding a pencil, which is why I laid off drawing for as long as I did, because I couldn't hold the pencil tight enough or have enough, fine motor control to draw with the level of detail I used to. And, and I still have problems to this day. Like my hands will go numb sometimes for no reason whatsoever. But I mean, overall, it's better than it was. Thank God. I'm able to work out again. I wasn't able to work out for a long period of time. I gained weight. I got depressed. I thought I was going to wind up in a wheelchair, and it didn't happen again. Thank God. But I'm just saying I can relate, because during that situation, or the situation I was in, I actually was working for a software company, and, I was able to work from home, but I did have to sometimes lay on my stomach or just move around or whatever. I had to move often, as much as I could, to try to make sure that I didn't have the, spinal compression that would lead to my nerves getting pinched and all of that. But, it was pretty scary for a while. So, I can't imagine having muscular dystrophy and trying to do this. And, that being said, I understand also kind of where Elon Musk is coming from. He's getting dogpiled by a bunch of really salty Twitter employees who really didn't do anything. And they're just complaining that they got fired because they didn't do anything. But it sounds like this guy actually was doing his job. And again, this is a really good example of why you don't have conversations like this on Twitter, and why I personally think Twitter is not good for any kind of communication about serious issues. People fire off responses. They don't think it through. Sometimes inflection is lost. A lot of times inflection is lost. And also emboldens people to, use anonymous avatars and just, fire off shit and make, defamatory claims. And it's very easy to be brave from behind, faceless avatar and the keyboard with the username, cartoon stand 2261814 or whatever. But in this case, a business matter like this probably should not have been handled on Twitter. This guy did not immediately respond to CNN's request for comment. Twitter, which has cut much of its public relations department, did not respond. It's not the first time Musk has publicly mocked employees at Twitter, the company he bought for $44 billion last year. He's feuded on the platform with former Twitter executives, fired employees who criticized him, and in one case publicly called out a former employee's tweets about him, saying that they were the result of a tragic case of adult onset Tourette's. Yeah, but the thing is his company. It's his company, you love it or hate it, it's his company. And I don't agree with everything he's doing there. I was personally hoping Twitter would get better. I thought it would be more streamlined. I thought that the crazy people would leave, but it seems to me like it's actually gotten worse in some ways. And it's like, I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. But there it is, guys. It's making headlines. Elon Musk was mean to a Twitter employee. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.